I'm Kiki. I'm an imperfect ally. And this is Big G. He's a perfect ally. If you've seen my channel trailer, then you know that I have felt called to have these oftentimes difficult allyship conversations and ultimately decided to use this platform to do it on a larger scale. Now, the idea of trying my hand at content creation has been swirling around in my noggin for a while and has been suggested to me by family and friends many times throughout the years. I think largely because I'm just kind of amusing to watch because I'm like a cartoon person, but also because I have successfully and very unsuccessfully had a lot of conversations with loved ones about social justice issues in the past. And I pride myself on remaining respectful and diplomatic when faced with contentious topics. But I've always had the excuse of not having enough free time to dedicate to what I knew and can now confirm would be a very time-consuming project. And I also wasn't totally sure what my unique niche could be. And then quarantine hit, and I found myself with an abundance of free time. And then the conversations around systemic racism seemed to reach an all-time high after the undebatably tragic, senseless, and racially motivated murders of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor. Now, you may be thinking, those things happened months ago, Keek. And you're right, because I also have a deep, dark secret as to why I wasn't immediately speaking out about my pet social justice issues on the internet. I hate confrontation. With loved ones, I'll avoid it at all costs. Now, my friends can attest that I am no stranger to delivering a verbal smackdown to strangers and acquaintances. But when it comes to close friends and family, more often than not, I will freeze up or swallow my feelings or just not speak my mind if it differs from their views. And for a long time, I felt like I couldn't post about systemic racism or the border situation or LGBTQIA rights on social media because I knew that there were people in my life who would disagree. And I had past comment wars that gave me such anxiety that it put me off from ever being vocal about the issues. But their disagreement was precisely the reason I needed to be speaking out the whole time. And I should note that the only reason I had the option to ever be quiet is because of, say it with me, privilege. So I'll be the first to admit that what I've seen as a positive shift in these conversations as of late has really emboldened me to stand firmer in my beliefs and become a more outspoken advocate for marginalized people. But don't let this channel fool you, it is still something I struggle with. I constantly have to fight the urge to block extended family every time I post something political on Facebook. And I hemmed and hawed for a while about who from my networks I even wanted to share this channel with. But that discomfort makes it all the more important. I attended a BLM protest earlier this summer, outdoors and wearing a mask, of course. And one of the highlights for me was when one of the speakers asked all the white people in attendance to consider the nerves and even fear that they might have felt when deciding to attend. And that really got me because as great of an experience as it was, I felt on edge the whole time. I was so concerned that there might be an agent provocateur in the crowd trying to incite violence, that the police that were surrounding the protesters could turn on us at any moment if that happened. And the speaker pointed out, or really reminded us, that that baseline fear is what Black people carry with them when they walk down the street every day. And that tension and sudden awareness I had of all the guns in my vicinity is the way that they feel in every interaction with law enforcement. Just existing as a Black or Indigenous person of color, a queer person, or a minority of any kind takes daily courage. And not having to be brave just to live my life as who I am is a privilege and a luxury that I have to remind myself of often. I'm what one might call a coastal elite. And as such, I've often felt like my area is immune to violent ignorance. So I was shocked and really horrified to hear a story recently about a local white pastor who had a Black Lives Matter sign on his lawn and woke up one morning to a dead deer in his driveway and blood smeared all over the windows of his house. When you are upfront about your causes and beliefs, you're going to make some people angry. And it can be really easy to get scared and decide to shut up forever. I would know. But when you draw someone's ire or hatred, it can often be a sign that you're on the right track. And I know that it can be terrifying for Deer Corps reasons or just social discomfort reasons. And that's why I'm here to help. I have seen brilliant and passionate activists, some who I know personally and some who I don't, inadvertently discredit themselves by name-calling or belittling those with whom they disagree. And it breaks my heart to see their message thrown out with the proverbial bathwater by folks whose hearts maybe could have been softened to the issues if presented in a different way. So I'm offering myself and this channel as your resource for the day. If you're afraid to speak in your own words about a difficult topic to your loved ones, or you're just so passionate about the well-being of a certain group that you can't help but yell, "You are the oppressor, white man!" at the dinner table, not that I've ever done that, then I'm here for you. If there are any particular topics you'd like to see covered on this channel, please leave them in the comments. I am not here to tell this internet community what you need, so I'm asking you, what do you need? Also, I do feel the need to say that I'm in no way more qualified to speak about any of these issues than any of you, but I am happy to be your buffer or scapegoat if need be. You can also follow me on Instagram at an Imperfect Ally for smaller snippets of content that might be more easily shareable. So don't forget to get out there and spread love, even or especially with those who you may want to love into submission about today's societal plagues. Also, I love you. I'll talk to you real soon.